Don't let how you feel determine what you do. In life, there's always going to be some problems. It's never going to be perfect. But the problem that we really face is integrity and discipline. Integrity is the ability, right, to do what you said that you're going to do long after the mood that you set it in. And then a discipline, right? Doing the thing that you hate like you love it. And it really comes down to the fact that you're never going to have, in 365 days, right? Or in this case, 366, there's never going to be a full year where you feel like doing it every single day, even if it's something that you made the commitment of doing, right? But the problem is we allow our emotions to dictate the work. I love Uno, right? The reason why I love Uno is because there's rules to the game, right? But before you start playing the game, you have to set the rules because people play different, right? People play the game differently. And so you can't get to the point where like you in mid game and then you start stacking, or you start doing the train, or you know what I mean? Or you start dropping multiple cards down at a time, or you dropping, you know what I mean? If it's, you got 2 skips, you putting both of the skips down, but we wasn't playing like that the entire time. What I'm saying is you can't switch the game up, right? You can't switch the rules in the middle of the game. So if you said that you're going to do something, if you said that you're going to do something in this season, you didn't say that the thing that I'm going to do is predicated upon this. What do I mean? What I mean is the thing that you said that you're going to be committed to has nothing to do with your emotions. The thing that you said that you're going to be committed to has nothing to do with if I feel like it today. Right? It's 5 a.m. right now. The thing that I said that I was going to be committed to do does not care about what time it is. It just matters about what I said I was going to do. What I'm trying to get deeper into is, in this, what you'll see is that there's a lot of superficial, but the work is deep. Meaning the superficial stuff is on the outside, but the work requires deep work. It has nothing to do with this predication of, because I don't feel good today, I'm not going to do what I said I was going to do. Because the understanding of how we need to define integrity is being willing to do the thing that we said that we're going to do long after the mood that we set it in has passed. Being a man or a woman of your word has everything to do with I'm going to be committed I'm going to be committed to the thing that I said I was going to do long after the mood that I said it in has passed. Long after I said that I was going to be committed to the thing, I don't care what the thing is. It doesn't matter what it is, right? I don't care what your commitment is. All I require from you is that you be a man or a woman of your word, because you could have all the things that you want if you start to will it. What do I mean by that? If you stop saying, I just want this thing, and that be it. A lot of us say that we want this or we want that. We want this particular change, but change does not occur from the want, but it occurs from the will. What are you willing to do? It's cool to say that you want this. It's cool to say that this is your goal. It's cool. It's cool. But the true change happens when you stop saying I want and you start saying I will. I will do this to be able to acquire this. I will do this to be able to change this. I will do this. I'm willing to do. What are you willing to do? You have to start asking start asking yourself the question, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to change? Because things can't change unless I do. Things can't change unless you make a change. But change doesn't occur off want, it occurs off will. What am I willing to do? But none of that can happen if you're not consistent to the commitment. A lot of us make the commitments and then I'll say it, I'll be truthful. A lot of us, including myself, I'm guilty. We'll make commitments and then fail on the commitment. But it has to do with a lot of an integrity problem. I've had a hard time being consistent to committing to something my entire life. There's been problems where there's been times in my life where I have committed, but then long after the time that I've made that commitment, I decided I didn't want to stay committed to the process. And what I can agree on, and what I feel like we're related to in this sense, is understanding that my commitment cannot be predicated upon the outcome. Because if I allow my commitment simply to be tangible with an outcome, I now have fallen victim to what that outcome is. Meaning, if I do or if I don't acquire the outcome, I'm it changes my level of commitment, regardless of if I accomplish it or if I don't. Meaning this, because that's superficial. Let's go deep. A lot of us want to put in the work until we reach the goal, but after we think that the goal is the goal. We think like, if I want to lose 10 pounds and then I put in the work and lose the 10 pounds, that the 10 pounds is just gonna stay out forever because I put in the work. No. It's so much deeper than that, because the 10 pounds is not predicated upon simply you being willing to put in the work, but it's a lifestyle change, right? The 10 pounds, the goal has nothing to do with the one. It has everything to do with the will. So if I'm only working out for the change, but I don't see the change, am I still willing to work out? Or if I'm working out for the change and then I acquire the change, am I still willing to work out? A lot of us, we get hit with two. It's a double whammy, right? Because if our focus is fixated upon just simply the outcome, what happens if you do or do not accomplish the outcome? Are you still willing to put in the work? And for a lot of us, we aren't. For a lot of us, we have made a decision subconsciously that everything that I do will be predicated upon what I gain. And what I'm trying to get us to realize is that a change has to occur, right? But the only way a change can occur is if we will it, not if we want it, right? So what I'm trying to do is, I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm trying to change you. This has nothing to do with motivation. This has everything to do with transformation. If you could just renew your mind, right? Don't conform to the world, but be renewed and make this change, this deliberate change in your mind, that my work will no longer be predicated upon my outcome. I am ceasing to do things simply from what I can gain from it, but all due to the fact that I've made a commitment to it. Like, if you just made a commitment for 365 days, it has nothing to do with the thing, that the outcome, but everything to do with the commitment. You will be committed to the process. It's only two things that happen. One, you'll gain self-evaluation, right? You'll gain a self-evaluation to be able to see, am I really truly disciplined, and what is my level of integrity? Because I said that I would do this for 365 days. I don't care about the person who's motivated on day one. I don't care about the person who's motivated on week one. I don't even care about how motivated you are on month one. Can you make it year one? Can you complete the task? Can you accomplish it, right? It has nothing to do with how you feel, but everything about the commitment. Second thing that you'll learn about yourself is self-discipline. It's self-discipline. Am I willing to do the thing that I hate like I love it? Right? A lot of us, we may not like to work out. A lot of us, we may not like to study. A lot of us, we may not like to read. It just might simply be the process that we're doing, right? It may just simply be the thing. Sometimes it's not even the fact that we hate doing the thing. It's just the fact that because we made a commitment to it, now it feels like work instead of play. But can you be so committed to the process that has nothing to do with the outcome? Can you be so committed to the process that it has nothing to do with what you can gain, but everything about just being committed to your word? What I'm trying to get you to do is make this transformation that nothing that I do has to be predicated upon an outcome. I'm willing to put the work in regardless of what happens on the other side. Be the reactant and focus on being the reactant. Don't focus on the byproduct. Don't focus on what's going to happen, because it's going to happen regardless. You can't, if you put in the work, what I want you to understand is that if you put in the work, change will come. It's inevitable. So why focus on the change? Focus on the work. Focus on showing up every single day. And whatever that you said that you were going to do, make sure that you show up to the thing that you said. Can you just be real for yourself? Can you just we love to hold other people to the fire and say, you said that you're going to do this, and then they didn't do it. And we love to hold them to the fire. We love to condemn people for not being a man or a woman of their word, but we don't hold ourselves to the fire. You know it's crazy. A lot of people will get to the point where they're people pleasers. And how do you know that you're a people pleaser? You're willing to stay committed to somebody else. The word that you made to somebody else, the commitment that you made to stay to somebody else, you're willing to stay committed to them, but you let yourself down all the time. You're willing to stay committed to the word or the promise that you made them, But when it comes to you, you fall short on you, right? Imagine if I actually feel like that's scarier than somebody being your integrity being the same across the board. I let myself down, I let people down, or I keep commitment to myself and I stay committed to other people. Because the problem is, if you can be committed to somebody else but not yourself, there's going to be a moment in time, there's going to be a process. Some of you already have gone through this or are going through it right now. You can relate to this. There's going to be a time where you're going to let yourself down so much that you're no longer going to be able to show up for other people, because you're going to be dealing with the internal work. There's going to be some things happening to you that you normally you could commit. Normally you could handle doing it for other people, but now you can't. Now, because I'm letting myself down, how can I commit to something else? How can I commit to somebody else when I can't even commit to myself? These are going to be the things that's going to happen and how do I know? Because this was me. This was me. There was a time where I could commit to so much else. There was a time where I can commit to so many other people, and I could do the things that I promised other people and be okay letting myself down, because at least I'm helping somebody else. There was a time where I would justify my lack of commitment to me. But now what I'm saying is, I'm not saying be selfish. What I'm saying is be consistent. What I'm saying is, if you can't hold up your end of the bargain for you, how can you hold up your end of the bargain for everybody else? If you can't pour into yourself, how can you have anything left to pour for anybody else? Like, it all starts with you. And the problem is we put everybody else above us. We put everybody else in front of us. We put everybody's problems and everybody's needs ahead of ours. But when we give to everybody else, we don't have anything left for ourselves. And what I'm trying to get you to realize is that in this year, and I know a lot of people, this year already, if you would just make this change, if you would just say, even in 2024, it's June of 2024, the beginning of June. What I want you to understand is that deep work is not predicated upon, or is not correlated with the date that it says on the calendar. Deep work does not care about the time that says on their clocks. Deep work says that today can be the start of a new year. Deep work says that today is the day. Deep work does not care. Deep work doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care about your other prior commitments. It doesn't care about the thing that you said that you want. It doesn't care about what calendar day it is. It doesn't care about what time it is. Deep work just requires the commitment. It just requires a commitment. It just says that this is what you said was going to be done. Let's get it done. It just says don't change the rules. We playing Uno, and we already set the rules. You already said that this is what you were going to do. You didn't say that what I was going to do was predicated upon how I woke up. You didn't say that what I was going to do was predicated upon how I feel. You just said that you was going to put in the work to change your parents' life. You just said that you was going to put in the work to change your own life, to change your children's life. You just said that you was going to put in the work so that you would be a different you. You did not say that I'm going to be committed to changing my parents' lives if I feel good when I wake up. You didn't say that. You just said that you was going to wake up at 4:00 in the morning. You just said that you was going to wake up at 6. You just said that you was going to work out every single day. You didn't say that, I was going to work out every single day unless my knee hurt. You didn't say that. You just said that I was going to put in the work. And right now, I just want you to be real with yourself. Let's take a second. Be real with yourself. Do some deep work. Are you committed to yourself fully? Or are you just wanting? Because wanting is cool. Wanting is how it starts. But willing is how it finishes. Get to the point where you will it to happen. Get to the point where you stop wishing. Because wanting is just wishful thinking. I want this to happen. I really want this. But what are you doing? What are you willing to do to get it? Are you willing to sacrifice the life that you have now? Are you willing to sacrifice you today for who you can become tomorrow? Are you willing to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most? Are you willing to make that sacrifice? A lot of us aren't willing to make this sacrifice. And I'm cool with it. Like, I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm not saying that you got to do it. What I'm saying is, if you're not willing to make the changes, this is going to hurt somebody. But what I'm saying is I gotta be real. I gotta be real with you, right? This is the change. This is the day. This is going to be a pivot for a lot of people. So I gotta be real. If you're not willing to make the change, then you have to be willing to change the goal. Like, if you're not willing to make the changes, that's fine, but change the goal. If you're not willing to do what is required, that's cool. But realize that if you're not willing to do what's required, stop thinking about it. Stop wishing it. Stop wanting it. If you're not willing to do what is required, change what you want. Change what you want. Because the dreams that it's been placed into your head, God is doing a mighty new thing, and he's showing you something new. And it can be done through you. And he's giving it to you for a reason. He's placed it in the greatest nation in the world, and that's your imagination, because nobody else can touch it. Nobody else can do anything with it. It's for you. It was designed for you. It was purposely placed into you. You didn't have to do anything else. You didn't have to come up with it. You didn't have to. It was already given to you freely. Greatness lies within you. But are you willing to accomplish it? Are you willing to do what is required to be great? Eric Thomas says that people want to be great. Everybody want to be great until it's time to do what greatness does, right? Everybody wants to be great until it's time to do what great people do. Everybody wants something until it's time to do what is required. Everybody can want, but what are you willing to do? Make the change. Do what is required. Understand that this is not motivation, it's transformation. Love.